We're doing it. We're doing it. It's happening. It's now. Ah! Hello one, hello all. It's the gothiest ghost of them all. And it's time for a review of Yeat 2093. Yeat is a California rapper, singer, producer, and this is his fourth studio album. And Yeat is a rapper I've been covering formally for quite a while, whether it was his Afterlife album, his Life album. Afterlife, which I enjoyed. I did, however, feel that lyrically there was a lack of focus, but I could not deny the vocal variations. I could not deny how he was going a little bit above with the production choices. It definitely took a industrial route. So there was sonic variety there, even though a bit of it, or a lot of it, did come off unfocused. But the visceral bangers are definitely there, and they are here again on 2093, but this time in the most ambitious way possible. There's a lot of growth here, there's a lot of transformation here, and he sounds way more consistent and strong than he ever has. And dare I say, there are bars on here that are definitely standout, and I've never thought that I would say that in a good way for a Yeat track, or a Yeat album for that matter. Because now he's sober, which he does touch on here a few times, and more coherent and definitely better for it, in my opinion. Now, this is absolutely a lengthy project. It is an hour and 10 minutes, but I promise you, it pays off. It pays off. Oh, does it pay off? Also, reading into the lyrics, it feels like he's coming from more of a vindictive place here than he ever has. Like, taking stabs at those who've done him wrong, his naysayers, but doing it in like a hilarious way too, where it doesn't come off as seething, but yet very clever, very cheeky with it. Like on Bought the Earth. Put it on your life. You want a fairy tale life. You want me to tuck you in bed, read your books all night. Or, I know you want to cry, here's a shoulder. I know you want to die, here's a boulder. Like, dude is just unhinged on here, but it's just in the most entertaining way. Or when he says, I'm gonna kill you quick, that's kind of kind. And also in terms of ambition, sonically, we are getting that full force mostly throughout this album. Like how the tracks develop, like on the fantastic Power Trip, that has this ethereal intro, and you can make the argument that it does sound like Travis Scott, yes, but honestly, I feel this is more ambitious than where Travis Scott has gone in quite a while if Travis Scott were to do this. Not to mention, Yeat's holding most of his own here. He's not going for a feature. He doesn't really need features, which honestly, we'll get into later. The features aren't really as good as Yeat is as a solo artist on this album, and arguably lyrically better, and with more vocal variation than Travis Scott as well. And the production keeps me sonically engaged mostly throughout. And I love the static leads and the little alien voices that we hear in the background. Really gives it the character of Yeat being like of this otherworldly being. And we're getting a lot of galactic sounds in here. We're getting a lot of analog bass on here, especially in the midpoint. And I love its beautiful futuristic ending. It's so touching, but yet so sci-fi in a way. There's also the warbly bass and the nocturnal dance beat on Breathe, with these soaring pitched melodies that are just absolutely unhinged, that appear a lot on these tracks, but definitely fit nicely into the concept of this album, which is very futuristic. This is like a whole nother year. This is 2093, so you're getting very futuristic vibes here. And packed with emotion too. Like, Yeat is very passionate on here, but I feel he's just letting it all out. He is letting his alien freak flag fly. Following that up with more monstrous production, with these pulsing rhythms, tripped out echoes. Again, a lot of this sounds so glitchy, so Terminator-like, and in a way we get like a post-apocalyptic Nine Inch Nails downward spiral feel, like on the track I Love. And I know people cringe when I make the comparison, but it's there. The industrial sound, the industrial element is there. Nine Inch Nails is industrial. They are the masters of that. So the comparison is there. And you're gonna have to deal with it, because Yeat obviously pulls from that, which I feel he does well, and the hook is very catchy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Also, Bought the Earth, as I alluded to earlier, has these gorgeous strings, elegant, beautiful keys. It really captures the soulful and the futuristic elements that this track is going for, and that fits the album nicely. And You Should Know has these hypnotic synth leads with these reverb hums and falsetto chants. There's also Tell Me, that has these really dark, sinister synth layers with these large, wailing like siren chords. With these devilish vocals, it sounds so villainous, so good. And I love it with these unsettling strings on the back end, like bro's just created a whole nother universe with this. There's also Shade that has this chaotic synthy production with these laser-like keys that topically touch on Yeat's struggle, his grind to get where he is, and he remembers those that doubted. He remembers those who kept him back, and displays no interest at all in keeping them, even though they're asking for forgiveness. They're asking for redemption, asking, how can I make it up to you? And Yeat says, you can. Which segues fantastically into the futuristically tribal Riot and Set It Off that has this insane percussion, fat blaring analog bass, and synth horns with more alien layered vocals, and chants that are so unhinged and so trippy it feels like they're just dissipating in my mind one by one. There's also Mr. Inbetween that sounds almost like Gotham City villains, but in a good way, set in the future, in a very dark set, displayed in a very dark way. It's very dark, it's very ominous, it's very villainous, but then breaks into these wailing synths to these melodic dark chords that are so epic, and the rumbling drums. Like, it's very Terminator. I know I say that. This is like the futuristic R-rated comic book set to mind here. And Psychocainë, which if there was a thing, it would sound probably like this in Yeat's world. That is an amped up banger with blaring dark synth bass, warbly chords, and the hook bangs too. I took a loss so long, I forgot. If We Being Real, which is another highlight for me, starts off with his dreamy Spanish acoustic guitar, swelling chords as Yeat continues his vendetta against these antagonists and just wants to continue his grind. And I love the various vocals on here that he does, whether they're pitched down to create this villainous mantra or very passionately done that are like sung out. It's kind of like Future in a way, which Future does make an appearance on here. But the only problem with that is his vocals are just suffocated for some reason, so muffled. I don't really know why they would do this, especially when I'm getting the feeling Future definitely plays a huge role in the influence of Yeat. But man, which is a shame, because the hook on there is great. I think the production just sounds so regal and futuristic and defiant at the same time. We some big mutts, big doggies. I put the shit together like some puzzle pieces. Man, missed opportunity, man. Missed opportunity. And I will say, even though 2093 is the title track, it doesn't really complement how large, how otherworldly this album is. It doesn't really complement it. It really sounds more like an interlude that doesn't really have the big pickup. It doesn't have the epic grand build that a lot of these tracks have. But the album does end off great with its beautiful melodic synth production, with ascending chords as Yeat likens himself to an alien, with these heavy melodic distorted guitar chords. It really gives that epic send-off. And in a way, I know I keep bringing this up, but again, the alien being the star of the show, the focus, reminds me of Bowie. I feel Bowie's influence still reigns even on a hip-hop track, which is 1093, as Yeat has just created this whole world and really saying like how he's not only from this year, but not from this planet. And the planet that he inhabited, it is 2093, but now it's like 1093, so I suppose this is the prequel to that. And how he has the control of that, how he could giveth and taketh away. It's like he's the ruler of this world that he's created. And how he's just gonna keep on being ambitious and keep on pushing. Now, there are some tracks on here where I do feel the features didn't exactly pay off. The Wayne feature I thought was just okay. But other than that, I thought this was fantastic. Yeat's best album by far. And truly and honestly, his most ambitious, his most display of vocal variation. But not only that, but lyrically coming with it as well. I feel this is a huge step up. And I'm starting to see like part 2 of 2093, part 3 of 2093. So there's more coming, I guess. But whatever Yeat has in store for us next, I'm definitely ready for. And I feel that Yeat is proven to be one of the most ambitious, creative, and definitely the best in the rage rap genre and bringing it to new plateaus. I'm feeling a 4 out of 5 black hearts on this. And if you've given this a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? Let me know. I'm here to strive. Please subscribe. That's it. Caspa, got the ghost. Yeat, 2093. Till we meet again.